Something I want to talk to you guys about. Something that happened. This is breaking news. This is some breaking news, people. So this is juice. This is tea. This is craziness. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. I couldn't believe my eyes, right? So Cohen, right? Jason Cohen, DJ Demand, good friend of mine, fellow SCE DJ. He hit me up. Well, we were just talking on the phone, and he brought up, he was like, hey, did you see a rant by this guy named Gabriel? I'm like, no. He told me all about it, right? And this guy named Gabriel, this is Gabriel here. He's out of Bakersfield, California. He owns the Social Vibe, I believe it's called. I have it written down here. Hold on, I don't want to get this wrong. Yeah, he's the owner. He's the owner of the Social Vibe. And he also does a master class called Master the Levels with Mike Villa, right? And it's a pretty, from what I understand, it's like expensive. Like, you know, you got to like, this is an investment. Like, and it's like an all-out class, right? So I've heard of them through that. And I know Mike Villa. I didn't really know Gabriel too well. But apparently, he went on a rant online on his Instagram story about the EV Evolve 50. Check this out.
Yo, what up, DJs? Okay, unpopular opinion here. I'm going to ruffle some feathers, but Electro Voice Evolve 50s are not that great of a speaker. Hear me out. I own them. I own a couple of pairs of them. Not for much longer. I'm going to be selling them. They're borderline trash speakers, man. Those that say they rock 250 people with Evolve 50s, I have no idea what the hell you listen to. But you need to go out to the crowd and feel those speakers, listen to the speakers as somebody in the crowd. I had the opportunity to finally listen to them. I have no idea why it took me so long to do this, but I was actually in the crowd. I listened to them, I felt them, and I felt absolutely nothing. I was so upset at that purchase, at that time, right there in that moment, that made me realize I made a horrible investment.
That's crazy. That's crazy stuff. I gotta admit, I find it hard to believe, Gabriel. I mean, think about it. I mean, everyone uses Evolve 50s. I mean, some of like the best wedding DJs, there's probably a lot of wedding DJs watching right now that are listening right now, or however you're watching this. There's probably plenty of people who use it right now. Dude, some of the best wedding DJs in the country who charge top dollar use EV Evolve 50s. That's their main system. I just find this hard to believe. Like, I gotta ask. I'm not trying to like call out Gabriel, but like, you know, did you run them correctly? Like, I hope you like ran them correctly. Because if they sounded that bad, I mean, you probably just ran them directly into your controller. You know, most controllers have bad preamps, so like, you know, not using an external mixer, you're probably not gonna get the full sound from it. You know.
And before you guys go through, oh, how'd you run them? Look, I know how to run damn speakers. I was going through a mixer. It's not straight through the board. I know going straight through a board is trash. So I was going through a mixer. From the mixer, it was all equalized, going to the speakers. Speakers were set. Everything was good. It sounded great for dinner. As soon as the dance started, this is when you know they're borderline trash, right? Songs were bumping. Shit's clipping already. And, you get the bride telling you to turn it up. At that point, there's no saving those speakers. Basura.
Okay, well, he ran them correctly. And that's pretty crazy. That's like where I've never had the bride saying, turn it up, you're not loud enough. And they're clipping already. That's not good. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what basura means, because I didn't know either, it means garbage in Spanish, by the way. But that's crazy. That's pretty bad if the brides are telling it. But all right. You know what though? How many people were there? Like, are you using them for like 200 like people though? Like, was it like how many like people were actually there?
And I know the questions that are going to be asked. How many people are you rocking them for 250? First of all, I'll never rock a column array for more than 150 people. That's ridiculous. But anywho, they were about 100 people, but the dance floor was packed. It was a packed dance floor, and I felt nothing, y'all. There was no emotion in the songs. it would just felt short. Yes, you heard the tops, but yeah, it's a 12-inch sub. You can't expect much of them, but Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, there was no low end. I mean, absolutely none.
Okay, so it was only 100 people. All right, well, all right. So you ran them correctly through an external mixer. You had everything set right. You know what you're doing. I mean, he teaches master classes. Shit. Like this guy, he's got a successful company, big brand out in California. Like, I'm assuming you ran him correctly. You know what you're doing. It was only 100 people. It had to have been a big ass room, right? It had to have been like a huge room then. Like, you can't be using 12-inch subs in like a huge big room, right? 30-foot ceilings, like.
Oh, and also the room size, right? It was a standard, like ballroom, like a country club. You know what I mean? A country club.
Oh, okay. Shit, that's weird. Wow. But they're so popular. Well, why'd you buy them? Why'd you buy them?
All right, so I got a question. Why'd you buy them if you don't like them? There's a story behind it. Mike Villa, who a lot of you guys know out there, had them when he was his own entity, Trifecta DJ. Then, he joined the family and he had them. They look good. I'd never seen the speakers. I was just like, oh shit, they look good. They sound good. Cool. I'll buy another pair, whatever.
Okay. So the look. It was the look and it sounded okay, but like you really didn't hear them. That's crazy. Can I convince you otherwise? Like everyone uses Evolves. Like they're the best. Like can I, is there any way I can convince you?
You could argue till you're blue in the face. It's not going to change my mind. There's no way. There's no way that that's a great dance speaker.
Well, at this point, I got to say, you should have got RCF, man.
First of all, I should have went with my gut. I should have went with the RCF Evox 12. It's a 15-inch. But he had them already. I might as well just keep going with the line, right? Because it stays uniform.
Oh, this is getting crazy. All right. Well, at least you didn't recommend them to anybody, right?
And to the DJs out there that I did recommend the Evolves, I'm sorry if you bought them. I mean, hopefully you love them. But I was I steered you wrong. RCF makes great stuff. I'm gonna try out the Evox.
Guys, this is insane. And here with us live today to answer a few questions about this rant is Gabriel. So let's give Gabriel a round of applause. What's up, Gabriel? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? Much love, dude. What's going on?
I can't complain. So I gotta ask, man. What would you say? I've been. So this is a question I ask myself all the time. I got to be honest with you. I've heard the Evolves. I've used them at events before. I think I was one of, or maybe the first person to ever have the Evolves in the United States. A lot of people don't know that, just through Jason. And I'll tell that story in a second. But I didn't like them then, and I always thought, like, well, why does so many people use them? Like, is it because they're getting them for free, or because, like, there's no way they think they sound good? You know what I mean? Like, do you think it's just a look? Like, because they do look really cool,
Yeah, it's 100% the look. We get compliments every time we take them out.
Yeah.
They're a sexy speaker. Don't get me wrong. Evolve has a big name in the industry. They've made great things in the past. They have great lines. But that's where I messed up, man. I went with the popular opinion, and I had another rant after that said, if you go with the popular opinion, you lose yourself, right? And I lost myself for a bit because I was just like, oh, they're sexy, they look good. But that was my first mistake. I never did an SPL check. I never called in my audio engineer to run pink noise to tell me, hey, this is a great speaker like I've normally done. Most of all my purchases, I always lean on these major guys in the industry to tell me, yes, they're great. No, they're not. And that's why I've been with RCF for so long, because they have great drivers. They sound amazing. The HD32s, the HDM45s, the subs are like second to none in the industry as far as powered. You know what I mean? Consumer grade powered speakers. You just can't beat and plus they're Italian. I mean, Italians are awesome.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And I agree. I've been screaming RCF from the mountaintops for years, and it's not because I get them for free. I bought my first how many pairs, and I just ended up getting a relationship with them, thank God. But like, it's really because they're the best. We just had someone in the comments saying, and you actually addressed this in your rant. I didn't include it in my little thing, but he said, what about just adding an additional sub? Like, what do you think about that, Gabriel?
Yeah, that was part of my rant too. No. The reason why I went with the Evolves, or the reason why you go with a column array, is for the portability, right? You want to throw it in the trunk of your car, throw in your coffin in the back seat and ready to go. Why am I going to take an extra sub? If I'm already going to do that much work, I might as well take my 8003s, stick them on top. You know what I mean? I might as well just use my bigger RCF stuff. So absolutely not. Why am I going to throw more stuff? And then it takes away from the look. You love the column arrays because they're sexy. Why am I going to throw another sub, hide it behind a scrim? First, don't use scrims. No. But anywho, just it's just like, no. Why are you going to do more work when the speakers you have should do the job?
I
And
agree.
the right speakers for the right job. Yes, of course. And that's why I said I'm not going to rock a column array for 300 people, even if it's inside a house. You just can't do, just learn sound, get people that know sound, that can teach you sound waves. And, that's all I got to say. It's frustrating.
I agree with that. And I think it's very interesting how many people rock the Evolve 50s for large crowds, for every wedding, no matter where they're at, big ballrooms, large crowds. Like I think, first of all, I think the what you call it, the RCF J8s would take a warm dump on the Evolve 50s any day, but I still wouldn't rock them for 150, 200 people. I wouldn't, because it's still a 12-inch sub. They have way more low end and they sound great, but like, it's still not enough. Even the Evox 12s, I wouldn't rock for that kind of crowd. You just don't. You need 18-inch subs if you really want to have that deep bass. If you really want to feel it in your balls, you need bigger subs. You just have to have a bigger setup for bigger crowds in bigger rooms. If you have 30-foot ceilings, nothing will sound good unless you know what I mean? Like, you have to. It's just how you do it in general. And it just boggles my mind how many DJs use them. Great DJs. Some of the top names in the industries. Everyone knows who uses them. Some of the top in the industries. How? I don't know.
I honestly, and I didn't put that on there because I know, you know what I mean? I have no hate like you. Yeah, I mean, you've been rocking RCF and finally you're getting some like love from them for shouting them from the rooftop like you should, right? But, then it becomes kind of like, are they like, you have to look at the history of that person, right? Have they've always been Evolves since day one, or are they a sponsored DJ? Are they a sponsored company? Because my wife's been sponsored with fitness stuff, and she doesn't even use that fitness stuff. So she had to leave because she's like, I don't believe in the product. You know what I mean?
I
So you
agree with
have to
that.
be very careful on who gives you advice and what's their stake in that advice. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree with that.